They call them B.A.Ps, Black American Prince. They are the children of the black middle class. And they seem to be going crazy. Psychologists are warning that B.A.Ps are having a very hard time struggling to adhere to two totally different cultures. That is the white culture and the black culture. And for their part, the middle class parents, the black middle class parents, are instilling fear of white people into their children. Now, why would they do this? They say that a Trayvon Martin could happen to the B.A.Ps in their own neighborhood, regardless of how much money they have. And the situation or the psychosis gets worse the higher you go up in status, to a point where black millionaire children have the absolute worst scenario or worst cases of psychosis, of fear to go out of their house, fear to walk around their own neighborhood, fear of getting shot and killed. Now, this is not a video about Trayvon Martin. I don't even care about that stupid case. This is a video, I don't mean to laugh. This is a video about something that's actually real. Black American princes are literally living in fear of white people in their own home. So the black middle class escaped not only poverty, but escaped black neighborhoods and what they became, with stuff like CIA infiltrating the black neighborhoods and putting drugs into them. The upper levels of the black community left. That is the rich blacks and the middle class blacks. There was a time when all blacks lived together. That's the rich and middle class and the lower class all lived in the same area, and it was not a bad time. In another video, I've told you that blacks were actually wealthier in the 50s and 60s, before the civil rights movement, wealthier than they are today. So, what's the problem? Well, blacks know that blacks, regardless of income, are stopped by police. They are arrested on trumped up charges and sent to jail and convicted on no evidence whatsoever. This is evidenced by the cases when they applied DNA evidence to all cases, and they went back and backtracked all the cases. 35% of the cases were completely dropped because the person was shown to not have committed the crime due to DNA and forensic evidence. Now, coerced confessions are the order of the day when it comes to black people. Black people are coerced, they are threatened, they are basically tortured when they are arrested, and they are stopped and frisked, as my other video shows you, 90% more than any other group. 90% more than any other group. With the caveat that 90% of the time of those stop and frisks result in nothing. Result in no evidence or anything. So, more than like they have a mode of bringing in black people anyway. And this is what the middle class parents are teaching their children. So, the magazine, the Psychology magazine, and the authors are saying they are split. Is this a bad thing? Is this a good thing? It is a good thing because black children will not trust white people, will not trust white cops, will not trust that they have the freedom to walk down the street. Reality and Constitution are two totally different things. They are not the same thing. Black people have zero freedom in the United States of America. And this article is evidence of exactly that. The psychologists are saying it is driving these children crazy, completely bananas. Black people are not free. I don't leave my house. I do not leave my house without my white roommate escorting me, my white roommate driving me, my white roommate walking with me down the road. I don't exercise. I don't go for exercise. I don't go for walks. I don't do anything without my white escort. That is my butler, per se. He's my friend, but I don't pay him. But yeah, I don't leave my house without him. Yeah. And no, I didn't grow up in the 60s or 50s or whatever. The article suggested that the parents are from the 50s and 60s, and they are just teaching their children this as a holdover to the times that they grew up in. But I'm here to tell you, I think it's wisdom for a black person, regardless of their wealth, to understand that we do not have freedom in the United States of America. Maybe in about 1,000 years, maybe, when the police stop and frisk everybody, or stop stopping and frisking anyone, then maybe black people can come out of their house and walk down the street. And that's middle class and upper class. We're talking middle and middle upper class do not walk in their own neighborhoods. The article made mention of a case in point that a puppet show was going on, and the black kid got arrested and sent to jail for simply walking down the street. This is a puppet show. First of all, I'm blown away that they have a puppet show showing black kids getting arrested and sent to jail based on nothing, no evidence whatsoever. At the back of the auditorium was a little black boy who giggled, and his mother, and then the person went to describe the mother is wearing Burberry coats and Gautier dress and diamonds and such. The black mother turns to the kid and said, "Be quiet, because that could be you. Don't ever think that that cannot happen to you. It can." And the child shut up. And when they were on their way home, she, out of the auditorium, she proceeded to remind him of that lesson, that you cannot take for granted that you have money and therefore you can walk around your neighborhood. You are black first and always. Anyway, leave your comments. I've been giving you my instance. Leave your comments. I had an escort from my boarding schools. When I went to boarding schools, I had escorts. I had a cadre, almost like bodyguards. I've had bodyguards, but this was in the United States. I had bodyguards overseas, but in the United States, I had escorts. Basically, bodyguards. A group of people escorted me to and from boarding school. Now, if you don't think it doesn't happen, it happens. If you don't think it's real, it's real. I know a lot of white people want to say, "Oh, this is 2013 and there is no racism and nothing's going to happen." When you are black and money, you are going to be in places where white people don't expect you to be, don't want you to be, and don't want to believe that you belong. How about that? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to be real. This is reality. If I hurt your feelings, you need to grow a pair. This is reality. If you're not in that group that doesn't want middle class and rich black people around, you need to go check your brain. I've been to parties where they said, do you have an invitation? Well, yes, I wouldn't come to the party if I didn't have an invitation. I wanted to leave, but the person who invited me was the guest of honor, and they invited me to sing for them. So I don't like being in those situations. I don't like going anywhere where I am not specifically invited. I don't like to go into a restaurant that I don't know about. I don't like to do anything. I am not going to be this one to set myself up to have a racial confrontation from some other rich or middle class white people who don't understand that black people have money, that they probably watch too much MTV. I know it's hard for us B.A.Ps in the United States, but nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about this issue. Blacks with money being in places and having racist conference. I could tell you stories. I could tell you a story of me versus 200 white kids. Me versus 200 white kids. Me versus 200 white kids. Yeah, I could tell you stories. And it wasn't just a one-time thing. It was all the time. And I was richer and smarter, better looking, and had more than all of them. And I guess that drove them crazy, and that's probably why I also had escorts going from my boarding schools, my prep schools. So there you have it. So I'm a witness and evidence that the article is true. I didn't go crazy. I'm not afraid of white people. I don't have any I might have some psychological problems, but nothing where I can't deal or speak to white people. I speak to white people all the time. I think these kids are going off the deep end, according to the article. Anyway, tell me what you think. If you are a B.A.P, tell me about your experience. Be sure to subscribe. It helps a lot. It helps me continue bringing you this fantastic content that I'm bringing you, these controversial things that I'm bringing you. Like the video so that more people can see it. All right? Thank you for watching. Check out my live.